Murphy. I want to talk to you today for 2 or 3 minutes on the virtues of discrimination and its place as a tool for women's empowerment in agriculture. I'm focused on international trade issues, where discrimination is usually held to be a bad thing. The World Trade Organization is founded, in part, on the principle of non-discrimination. Countries should all be treated alike by their trade partners in order for everyone to realize the greatest gains from trade. On theory, it looks good, but it depends on this prior clause, all things equal, and all things are not equal, as women know very well, because women live in situations where they don't have access to productive assets, for example, land title, where women don't have the same access to education as men do, and where women are responsible for a whole set of cares, reproductive cares, they're often called, looking after children, looking after the elderly, ensuring the household is warm and fed, that tie them into a place and into a lot of hours of the day that are not available for them, and productive work that they might barter either for a wage or to produce something they can sell in the market. In order to overcome the disadvantages that women have as economic actors, and in order for them to take advantage of the opportunities that trade undoubtedly can open for them, the governments need to think about discrimination. They need to think about investment in women and ways in which they can so-called level the playing field by ensuring that women are not disadvantaged. There are at least 5 ways they can think about that. One is to invest in the systems that would support reproductive care. Invest in good schools, invest in childcare, invest in elder care and health and hospitals. Invest in safe and accessible roads so that women are able to move about freely and safely. Invest in clean and affordable energy so that providing the house with food and warmth is not something that either takes many hours in the day or puts women's health at risk. A second area of policy that the governments ought to look at if they want a discriminating and effective trade policy is to look at the legal protections available to women. Women are very often discriminated against in legal systems, and they cannot engage in the kinds of contracts and transactions necessary to economic independence if they don't have full, proper legal protection. As more and more foreign investment comes into an economy, this becomes increasingly important. A third area where the government has power to make a difference is in public procurement. Governments spend a lot of money, and not least on food, procuring food for their schools, for their hospitals, for their prisons, and in some cases procuring food for their social safety nets. These are programs that can discriminate. They can discriminate in favor of small-scale producers, and they can discriminate in favor of women, and provide an important market where other markets are perhaps closed to women for different reasons. Fourth, you can make performance requirements on investors, including on foreign investors, to ensure that they are thinking about women and what advantage they might get from the new opportunities in the economy. And last, a government needs to know what it's dealing with. It should be investing in data collection that specifically seeks out information and catalogs information that is pertinent to women in their situation. It's only with information that governments can hope to have good policy. With all these steps in place, a more discriminating trade policy is possible, and one which would yield more equal outcomes.